What's up, everybody? Thanks for stopping by the movie hangout. This is a topic that I've been wanting to talk about for quite some time. When crazy things happen, it's sometimes it's best. Look, it's always good if you do a video as soon as something outrageous happens because people are going to search for it. You're going to get more views. But in the age we live in right now, with people so hungry for clicks, a lot of times people just kind of like jump the gun and they have a false assumption and they come to the wrong conclusion. So I don't want to do that. I want to give it a few days, but I can honestly say now, after watching, reading up all these clips, the story, I mean, just Netflix's lack of response. They're just all out and out lying. I have to say, this movie, which the algorithm right now is basically censoring people if they even say it. So I'm just going to spell it out so the algorithm doesn't get me. Cutties. You all know what that is. And so everybody's talking about this movie right now. This is a French-made film about young girls who dance. And when I say dance, I use that term very loosely. They basically do like a children's version of Cardi B slash the Pussycat Dolls. And it's the most disgusting, perverted thing you will see. I mean, I'm not even joking. It really is. I've watched extended clips just so I could at least be giving an opinion that was well informed. And I wanted to like pour alcohol in my eyes. It was so disgusting. So right now, thankfully, the audience is rational and they actually care about kids. These girls are about 11 years old, 10, 11 years old. Right now, the audience score here on Rotten Tomatoes is a 3%. Now, I can't really think of many movies that are down around 3%, but what's troubling is that the tomato meter for the critics. Now these are critics that Rotten Tomatoes, which is owned by Warner Brothers, handpicks. They gave this disgusting movie an 89%. Now to put it in perspective, other movies that are rated an 89% or more, I mean that's basically a B plus. The Toy Story movies, basically most of the classic Spielberg films. Um, and these 36 weirdos gave this movie a positive review. Let's just go through a few of them. So here's Bilg Eberer. I don't know how you say this guy's name. New York Magazine. Cutie certainly deserves to be seen, but it's also a delicate work that strikes a very careful balance in its portrait of the world. Right, okay. And then we got, so some people that think it's disgusting. The elements are put in place, but doesn't quite thread those strands into a satisfying conclusion. Growing up is hard enough, and Cuties knows that until it doesn't. And then this dude, Fred Topel, it's tasteful and its poignant point about the line between fun, empowering dancing, going too far, too young. To be honest with you, I would probably Google a lot of these guys just to make sure they're not on some sort of registry. And I'm not even kidding, because it is disgusting. This has probably got to be the widest spread between the critics, and I use that word loosely, with just normal people that watch movies. There's an 86% spread. I mean, that is absolutely incredible. And there's only 36 critic reviews, and there's over 1,000 just regular people that have reviewed it. So I would definitely go more with the audience here. I watched the clips. I'm not going to put them on here because I just don't want that filth on my channel. I mean, if you exploit kids sexually, you're the worst human being that I can think of. I mean, you're just despicable, horrible person. But there are close-ups of these girls twerking on the ground, close-ups of their butt, close-ups of their crotch area. there's a scene where they learn how to dry hump. It's absolutely disgusting. Let's go to the Wikipedia here. Came out in 2020. Now this thing has won awards. It won. Let's see here. We got. I think it won the Cannes Film Festival. But the controversy has just been growing like crazy. So here is Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi Gabbard ran for the Democrat nomination for president. She's like one of the most prominent people that have spoken out against this, and I give her a lot of credit. She tweeted out at Netflix, child porn cuties will certainly whet the appetite of pedophiles and help fuel the child sex trafficking trade. 1 in 4 victims of trafficking are children. That is 100% true. And that should freak a lot of people out. That's a lot of people. It happened to my friend's 13-year-old daughter. Netflix, you are now complicit. Cancel Netflix. And hashtag cancel Netflix is trending like crazy because despite all of the backlash towards Netflix, they don't care. Like they literally don't care. They changed their poster and then they changed the summary to this movie, but they totally lied. It really is explicit. Let's go down here. Let's read these comments. Joel Gutierrez, cancel Netflix this morning when I saw this. Tulsi Gabbard, me too. Trafficking deserves far more attention than it is getting. I agree. Most people think it's not a serious issue or that it just happens to some people in other places. It is rampant and happening in our own communities. I mean, there's just tons and tons of support here across the board. And I think the one thing that I completely agree with, and one thing that really, I guess, gives me some hope is that there's almost uniform outrage that in the general public, but there's almost uniform support for this disgusting movie amongst people that work in the media and also the film industry. And if you remember, the film industry got slammed with the Me Too movement. I mean, it got slammed with the whole like Jeffrey Epstein, Harvey Weinstein thing where there's like just, the casting couch and all this sick stuff. So what's bizarre is that Netflix has this movie streaming, and then like on the same page, the same home screen, you can watch the Jeffrey Epstein documentary, which he was infamous for exploiting young girls. I mean, it's just like the most bizarre thinking that Netflix is engaged in. And I have to wonder, at what point are people going to be so turned off to Netflix that they're going to go with some other streaming service like Amazon Prime? They're just going to watch stuff on YouTube. They're just going to, Shudder. There's so many different options now. I don't know what Netflix is thinking. This has got to be one of the worst decisions a company can make because it involves kids. I mean, it's just a whole new level of low. But anyway, I want to make a video on this. It is very difficult to talk about this subject. I mean, it really is because, I just never thought our society would hit this low to have this garbage on like a streaming service that kids have access to. But anyway, comment below. Let me know, what do you think? Do you think that, are you on the side with the critics, with the media, that this is great, this is wonderful? Or are you on the side with pretty much just mainstream America, that this is disgusting and this should not be tolerated? Comment below, let me know. And as always, if you want to get future rants, reviews, or original content, click subscribe. Later.